Now, this is going back to my YouTube roots a bit. A Raspberry Pi Bartop arcade running RetroPie. Hell yeah. I used to build Bartops out of wood and a bunch of other supplies and whatnot. Put tons of hours of work into them, getting them to look nice. Then I would sell them on Craigslist. This was some years ago. That's how I scraped by for a little while anyway, but it just wasn't worth it. The bit of money compared to the work and the hours I put into it, it was ridiculous. But the good thing is that it led me to YouTube. I was posting videos initially showcasing these bar tops, and then I became a content creator. But enough about my content creator beginnings, I guess. We got this new machine to take a look at that's actually a little unique, I guess you could say. So, a bar top with swappable control panels. This is a pretty cool idea if you ask me. I don't know if you did or not, but yeah, I think it's a pretty cool idea. So what I have here is an early prototype of a product from Retro Dim Sum called the Revo Cade. This company, is located in Southern California, so fairly close to me, and they sent it out to me to check it out and share with you guys. Now, this is supposed to be a future Kickstarter, and it's going to be going live, from what I understand, early May 2022, so right around the corner. I don't have all the details, but if you wind up being interested, a link to the Kickstarter will be down below. But a quick disclaimer, as always when I talk about Kickstarters, back at your own risk. I can never vouch for any project creator on Kickstarter, especially when they don't have previous successful projects to look back on. There's always a risk involved when contributing toward a crowdfunding campaign. That could be delays, anything that annoys you. Delays, lack of updates, communication, that kind of thing. A product that's delivered that isn't as the project described, or the worst outcome, never receive anything at all. I've had all these things happen to me with Kickstarters in the past, so I always, when I talk about Kickstarters, have to give that little warning. Don't put in money that you're not willing to lose, but hey, it's completely up to you. I know that's always kind of a downer, but it's just the harsh reality with crowdfunding. You just never know for sure. So now that that's out of the way, this Revocade arcade machine, it's a lot bigger than I initially thought when they reached out to me. I was seriously expecting a smaller mini arcade, but this size is actually pretty nice, and you can move it around fairly easily if needed. It's not too heavy, got a little heft to it. But the size, I measured it out. It's 20 inches tall, 14 inches wide, and 18 inches from back to front with a control panel attached. The screen, I wasn't told the size from what I'm looking at, like going back through communications, I didn't see what the size was, but I measured it diagonally and it comes in at 17 inches. Now, the system is powered by a Raspberry Pi 4. Pi 4s are, man, they're getting kind of hard to come by lately. I know this is going a little off track from this video, but the one thing I want to point out, if you're looking for a Raspberry Pi 4 and they're being either scalped or triple, quadruple the price from, previous sellers, that kind of thing, if you really need a Pi 4, look into the Pi 400. The Pi 400 you could still find on official retailers for retail price. So just something to point out real quick. But as I said, this thing's powered by the Pi 4, and with that, you could play tons of retro games from Atari 2600 up to about Dreamcast, a Thomas Wave, that kind of thing, Naomi. Some of the later machines, maybe a little hit and miss, but if you followed Pi 4 emulation for a while, you should know what to expect. It's pretty capable in my opinion. I love the Raspberry Pi 4. Now, when this unit goes live on Kickstarter, from what I have been told, it will not include games. They can't sell something like this with, copyrighted games unless they got a license for them. But it will ship with a micro SD card from what I'm told, and it'll be ready to go with software included. So I am assuming like RetroPie pre-installed type of thing, or maybe another operating system with an installer for you to choose what to, install, that route. But either way, since it is a Pi 4, you can either build your own setup of games, adding games, getting all that going, or you can just download something already pre-made and just go with it. Tons of different options here. Now, for this thing being a prototype, I was fairly impressed with the build quality. Sure, this unit that I have, it's a little rough in a few places, but I have been told the final model will have everything injection molded for the panels, and it'll be manufactured in an actual factory versus being put together by hand type of thing. And oh yeah, if it wasn't clear so far in this video, this is not a kit that you put together or anything like that. Like, you're not gonna get a bunch of pieces you gotta screw in or glue together, that kind of thing. It's a pre-built, ready to go bar top. Like, it's not a kit in the sense that you have to put anything together. You just got to add your games. That's pretty much it. Now, I know a RetroPie bar top isn't the most innovative idea in the world. Heck, I mean, I started this video talking about how that's how I scraped by for a while, was making like little bar tops and whatnot some years ago. But I think the idea of swapping control panels is actually really neat, and it works fairly well with this system. Choosing between whatever works for the games you want to play is fairly easy. Each control panel has a release button underneath front, and there's some pegs on the top that lock it into place in the front of the machine where it connects and interfaces with the system. Just like a little system of pins touching type of thing. Thought that was pretty cool. Now you can use the 6-button arcade stick, a spinner and dial panel, or a steering wheel with pedals. All three of these control panels can be plugged in with USB to numerous other consoles or PC, Android, like whatever. Like, you could use these as standalone controllers for other systems if you so choose. Now, obviously, with this thing being like a RetroPie system, or a Raspberry Pi system, excuse me, powered by Raspberry Pi, you could plug in other controllers as well through the USB ports on the back if you want to use an Xbox controller, 2-player action, that kind of thing. Whatever. You could plug in other things to use or sync up like Bluetooth controllers, that kind of thing. But with the control panels that are here for this system, I think they're all fairly decent for the prototypes that I got. Like mid-level quality in my opinion. The steering wheel, it works fine for the most part, but it seemed to like the cheapest to me as far as quality goes. But hey, it's a prototype, so perhaps final version will be a bit different. Now, overall, I think this is a neat concept, but we'll have to wait and see when the Kickstarter goes live on how everything will work out with pricing and how it will be sold. I think they're kind of getting all that stuff together, figuring it out. Sent me this little prototype to check out. Interesting, very interesting. Just wanted to share this with you guys. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Is this something for you? Maybe, maybe not. Appreciate you guys watching. Catch you next time. Bye.